everyone. Hi. This isn't the video that I thought I was going to be making right now, but it's the video that needs to be made because I owe you a bit of an explanation for why I have been missing. Long story short, I had to get my gallbladder out this weekend. I woke up one morning not thinking I would be having surgery, and then within 48 hours no longer having a gallbladder. Announcement news is that I do have some videos that I already have taken all the footage for that are pretty close to being done, or at least most of the footage is done, so I can probably get the video out more or less as planned. I have a video where I met a herd of reindeer that's really sweet and almost done, so it should be coming out soon, hopefully. I have a video of crocheting all of my Christmas gifts for everyone I love, where I'm slowly losing my mind doing so. I'm almost done. I still have to finish the last gift, but hopefully that'll be coming out soon. And then I have sort of a 2023 retrospective video that I've been filming all year and finally get to edit. I hope that'll be coming out soonish too. So please do stick around for all that. Thank you so much for the support and all the well wishes. I really appreciate it. But yeah, regarding my gallbladder, I kind of want to tell the longer story because I didn't know what was going on for so long. And maybe if I had seen just like a chill video like this explaining what could be happening, maybe that would have helped even while I was just like sitting in the hospital waiting for the surgery to happen. Maybe that would have calmed me down a little bit. I don't know. So I am interested in telling the longer story, and if you find it useful, that would be great. Oh, but just like quick disclaimer, I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is not trying to tell you any like information for diagnosing yourself. This is just me recalling my story from what I can remember over the last 5 years. Okay, so we've done the long story short, let's do the long story long. I am going to discount all of the stress stomach aches that I had during college and say that this all started on April 14th, 2018, which I can remember that date because my first abdominal pain attack happened the day that, or the night, that John Mulaney hosted SNL for the first time, which I know because we had a friend over to watch that with us. Basically, after a week or so of like not eating very rich foods, my then boyfriend, now husband, and I decided to go get Thai food, and I ate like an entire plate of pad Thai, which was delicious. Nighttime rolls around, we're hanging out with my friend, we're watching the lobster sketch on the John Mulaney SNL episode, and my stomach starts hurting, so I like excuse myself to go just like rest basically while boyfriend, now husband James, and our friend are like watching TV. Eventually the pain gets bad enough that I like call James back to me. Our insurance had this nurse hotline that we could call with questions because it was pretty late. We thought the ER on a Saturday, the ER can be more crowded. So we thought, okay, like let's call the nurse hotline and see if we need to go to the ER. A very nice woman answered. She was very sweet, especially because I think it was James was on the phone with her and I'm like moaning in pain in the background. And she basically said that if the pain stopped within a couple of hours, I was probably like fine and we didn't have to go to the ER. And sure enough, that is like exactly what happened. Like while we were on the phone with her, the pain turned the corner. I sort of describe these abdominal pains as being like a very weird, there's an ebb and flow just like within, you know, the pain. There'll be like cycles of like, it's higher, it's lower. And then it also goes like up. So it does this and it peaks and then it slowly comes back down. So basically the corner had well turned while we were even on the phone with the nurse hotline. So it lasted like 2 hours that time. And we were like, okay, I'm fine. My friend went home to go watch SNL. I went to sleep. I thought I was fine. And I was fine for about 3 years. Valentine's Day 2021. We are in the middle of COVID lockdown. My then fiance, James, now husband, same guy, has been dealing with really bad insomnia from the stress of the pandemic. Our dog was still alive. And I wake up in the middle of the night, or, you know, very early in the morning, and I'm in pain. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to wake up James. He's been having insomnia. So I get out of bed and I go downstairs with our dog Atlas, and I see that like the snow is like high, like it's blocking the garage on our rental house. And also like we don't have a tall car, we have a sedan. So I literally just think, well, I'm snowed in with this really bad abdominal pain. I guess I'm just going to die. It was definitely connected to something that I ate that time. It was a delicious meal, but then it did this to me. So we're snowed in, so I just cuddled up on the couch with Atlas, prepared to die. Then within a couple hours, it faded again, and it faded enough that like I guess I was totally fine, because that same day James and I built a 7-foot tall snowman, and I remember like half bending over to like roll these giant snowballs around to make the snowman body. So I must have been not in that much pain afterwards, which is good. I'm happy about that. Next up was May 2022, which you might actually remember because I was making a video when this happened and I mentioned going to the ER in the video. I actually ended up in the emergency room yesterday. I am fine. I thought I was having a gallbladder attack that lasted for like 10 hours. The day before I went to the ER, we were on a road trip. So we woke up in a bed and breakfast that served these amazing homemade pastries and like homemade breakfasts and pots of coffee. So I ate way too much. And then we actually stopped in a town called Ventura and got some Mexican food. I had some tacos and I like knew I should be taking it easy, but I do think I got a horchata, which definitely didn't help. We got dinner with my friend. So we got ramen and Korean fried chicken, and I think I got taiyaki. I did kind of know, or I should have known, that eating too rich food could do this to me. But I guess at that point, I didn't know how bad it could get. I woke up the next morning in like excruciating pain, and it's like 4 a.m. and we're sleeping on my friend's futon. And at that time I thought it'll fade in like 2 or 3 hours because that's like what it's done historically. So I just go into my friend's living room and I'm like waiting, and I go, okay, this is abnormal, and I start like googling gallbladder stuff and things like that. And I have a doctor friend who lives on the East Coast, and I basically texted him like, hey, can you call me? And we talked, and he was like, yeah, I mean, like, I'm not examining you, I am not your doctor, but just based on the symptoms you're describing, you should go to the ER. So I woke up James, I woke up our friend, and we went to the ER. And luckily, I don't know what day it was, but it was early in the morning, and the ER was very empty at this point, which was great because eventually, because I stayed in the ER for many hours, there were like gurneys in the hallways. It was so crowded. It was also the beginning of a new COVID strain, I'm pretty sure. So I'm in like excruciating pain. I am screaming at the, peaks of the ebbs and flows. So they do an ultrasound on me, like a bedside ultrasound. They wheel me to another room, like an ultrasound room to an ultrasound. They give me a shot of morphine to shut me up. No. They did give me a shot of morphine, and then they did a CT scan and then another shot of morphine, and they're just like, we can't find anything. We think it's just you ate too much and you're having really bad acid reflux. Like, go home and follow up with your doctor. And I just went, okay, because the morphine helped. I am never going to let them give me morphine again because that was great, and I will never do it again. I did follow up with the medical professional that I see frequently. She's a physician's assistant and she's amazing. She referred me to a gut doctor. She referred me to a gut doctor who took a look at the CT scan from the ER, recommended some lifestyle and diet changes, and that was like managing the pain. The acid reflux eventually went away. Like, it really did manage it for over a year until July 2023. So July of this year, I was visiting my family. We went to a really great barbecue place, and I woke up the next morning in really bad pain. But this time it was a weekday, which is good because I was like, the ER can't help me. And that's unfortunately the main takeaway that I got from going to the emergency room in Los Angeles, was that they couldn't do anything, which is wrong because they can do pain medication. Like, they can at least help with the excruciating pain. And that is something that my doctor told me this time that I want to put out there, where it's like, even if the ER can't figure out what's wrong, they can at least help with the pain. It was a weekday, and I was able to get on the phone with someone from a doctor's office and decided to go to the doctor. So we get to the doctor's office, and he does the like the stomach pokes. He's like, oh, does that hurt? Does that hurt? And I think I was like, no. And he ordered blood tests, which they probably did at the hospital too, honestly. And they didn't find anything, but he said, you know, follow up with your doctor. So I went back to the physician assistant that I see, and she sort of referred me to some other specialists that I had to wait a while to see. Funnily enough, at least in my mind, it was funny. I had to wait months to see the specialist that she referred me to. So the week before all of this happened, I had just done that appointment and was like about to schedule a follow-up with her to be like, well, what are the next steps to look at? So all of this so far is just the lead up to Sunday. So Saturday, James and I went out for some pho because it was a nice, you know, overcast, cool day in the Pacific Northwest. And we thought some nice warm pho would be great. I had some brisket pho and I had some tortellini for dinner. I have no idea if I'm ever gonna eat tortellini again. So I wake up Sunday, I'm starting to feel that pain. Sometimes I just think I need to use the bathroom and then it doesn't go away and I go, oh, that's right, this happened, you know, one of the times it feels like you need to go to the bathroom and then it's actually the abdominal pain. So I preemptively took some Tums and I went downstairs, started watching some YouTube. Pain's getting worse. I'm trying to like drink water. I end up calling my mom. She just talks me through it, and eventually the pain starts ebbing and flowing higher and higher. So I start just like moaning, yelling, groaning, whatever you want to call it. And then I throw up. And I've never thrown up before from one of these things. And in retrospect, I knew it was bad, but I don't think I knew how bad that was. Because like that's one of the things that's like, if you throw up, that means it's really bad. And I really think I should have gone to the ER. Maybe I could have called a doctor. I did eventually call a doctor to ask about something else. I called a nurse hotline. I should have, but at this point, I just thought the ER can't help me. And like, it's gonna be busy because it's like a Saturday or Sunday. I'm not gonna go. And this is where things got really bad because I couldn't hold down water. I sipped water and it made my stomach hurt worse. And the ebbs and flows were peaking so high. And once I hit pain level like 7 or 8, that's when I woke up James. Actually, I couldn't stand up to go like get him. So I called him. I hung up on my mom and called James. I'm just like, hey, I'm having the abdominal pains. It's really bad. I need you. We discussed, we tried to figure out, are we going to the ER? James called the ER. They were unfortunately not very helpful in terms of like how long a wait would be, which I understand. I wish they had made us come in because I really should have gone in, but I didn't. And after 6 hours on the dot, like literally 4 a.m. to 10 a.m., the pain started to fade again, which was good. The thing is, normally it faded to like 0. Remember, I made a giant snowman after having one of these incidents once, but this didn't. This one held steady at a level 2 pain, and it was a different pain. It was way more acid refluxy, and like I could do stuff, but I wouldn't be like lifting anything. Like I was still not feeling well. And then before I went to bed, I threw up for a 3rd time. It was like Sunday at 10 p.m. and throwing up made me feel better. Like sometimes it does. It brought me down to like a level 1, level 0 type pain. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go see my doctor tomorrow. And I went and I saw my physician's assistant. Because I was feeling better, she said, okay, maybe we'll get you back to the gut doctor. She used the real word. I'm the one who can't say it. But then she did the pokes. She did the like poking of the stomach thing. And I like hissed when she poked the gallbladder area. And she went, oh, yeah, no, let's get you that CAT scan. Unfortunately, because it wasn't like through the emergency room, it had to go through insurance. So I kind of went about my life in like a little bit of pain, but I was like driving myself around. I was like able to do things. And then Thursday, I get an email from my doctor that the CT scan has been approved. And then I get a call from the imaging facility. And this is the imaging facility that we use for a lot of James's cancer scans. I did know that they could be really good about having appointments open, which is part of why I asked to go to that one. And anyway, so I get a call and they're like, hey, we can fit you in this afternoon. You just have to fast for 4 hours. And I'm like, I've only had 3 saltines today because I've only been eating saltines and soup for like 4 days. I drove myself in. They did the CT scan. A very nice woman named Debbie did it for me. So they gave me iodine for contrast. They took pictures of my inside. They pull me out and I immediately start sneezing. And the nurse comes with tissues and she's like, oh my God, I haven't had someone who sneezes from iodine in years. That's so rare. That's amazing. So I'm done with the CT scan. I have not eaten in hours. So I go to pick up food. I get like a sandwich from a bistro type place. James and I decided to kind of meet halfway to get like some tea and figure out maybe like dinner or something. And then the CT scan results come in. And the results, like the summary at the top said something like it's concerning for acute, I think it's cholecystitis. I'm not a doctor, I don't know what these words mean. My gallbladder looks bad, basically. Although of note, they couldn't see any gallstones. And then, so the test results come in, I get an email about that, I look at them, I'm like, oh, that's worrisome, I wonder what this means. And then my doctor calls and says, you need to go to the ER. James is at home, I'm here, the ER is here. So we're like trying to figure out what to do. I'm actually near James's office, so he drives down, parks his car in his office. I drive to meet him. We drive to the ER. We have like nothing with us. He eats the other half of my bistro sandwich because at this point my stomach is just like not having it. And I don't know if that's the stress or like something because of my gallbladder. We get checked in super fast. Like they take my vitals, we go to the back, all the nurses are there, like getting my IV hooked up, taking my vitals, and they're like, how much pain are you in right now? I'm like, honestly, I'm like at a 2. I'm fine. My doctor told me I need to come in. And the ER doctor ends up coming in and he says, our ER has like an imaging center and an urgent care, but we're not actually attached to a hospital, so we don't have surgeons here. I'm like on the phone with a surgeon at a different hospital in our hospital group. We're consulting to see what we need to get your gallbladder out. And I'm like, oh, my gallbladder's coming out? And he's like, that's my recommendation. So that was freaky. I had been on my phone with my sister on and off most of the day, and her friend had recently had her gallbladder out too. So I at least had that reassurance that like it was going to be okay. And the surgeon explains it's probably going to be a laparoscopic procedure, just like 4 incisions. I'm kind of freaking out, but also really trying to keep it together. I was definitely in like denial leading up to this because like maybe they'll just give me strong antibiotics. They did give me antibiotics. The surgeon at the other hospital wants an ultrasound to like confirm what the CT scan says. So they do that. The ultrasound tech was very nice. It turns out she kind of did the poke test again. Yeah, it hurt. And I could also feel like the gallbladder through my back. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it needs to come out. Like the ultrasound, not the results of the ultrasound, but just how I felt during the ultrasound are what convinced me, yeah, your gallbladder needs to come out. Ultrasound results show, yep, gallbladder needs to come out, acute, whatever it's called. And doctor comes back like, hey, we're just trying to get you a hospital bed at this other ER. It's full right now. So we're just waiting for someone to get discharged. And I'm like, okay, cool. I find out I can't eat starting at midnight. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't want to eat anything anyway. This is all very stressful. At about 2 a.m., we get the call that they have a bed and staff ready for me at the other hospital. So they like disconnect the IV, but they leave it in my arm. I change out of they had given me a hospital gown, so I change out that into my normal clothes, and James drives me to the other ER, and it's about a 20-minute drive, and it's like pitch black at night because it's 2 a.m. I have not slept. I've been listening to a Survivor podcast. So we get to the other ER, we get all checked in, hook up my IV again, and James has to leave because visiting hours ended hours ago, but like he was there to, get me settled in. They make me like wipe myself down, which I remember from James's cancer surgery. It's, they want to make sure that like skin bacteria is gone. They like wipe the insides of my nose with iodine. I think it was not a fun feeling. It made me really want to sneeze and blow my nose, which I couldn't do because I had this like sterilizing thing in my nose. And then it's just like waiting basically. And again, I did not sleep. I maybe dozed for like 30 minutes. At some point, some lab people came in for more blood tests. They were very nice and very sweet and complimented my blue hair, which made me really happy. So they were nice. I don't remember their names. We talked about they have a bunch of dogs. It was very sweet. The nighttime nurse Boo, who was wonderful, switched to the daytime nurse Olga, who was also wonderful. Visiting hours opened up, so my parents are able to visit. My parents live like a 3-hour drive away. They woke up at like 5 a.m. to come and be with me if my surgery happened during the morning because James had been up so late the night before. Eventually, a surgeon on like the surgeon team comes in and again sort of explains the surgery to me with a bit more detail. I sign a consent form and then we're told, okay, like probably between 2 or 3. Like because I came in through the ER, they don't have like a set scheduled time for me, but they're gonna like try to fit me in amongst like other surgeries. I'm like, okay, totally good, that's fine. At this point, I'm like, oh, cool, so like James will be here when I go into surgery. Like that's great. Except for then at 12, people come in and they're like, hey, we're getting you ready for surgery. And I'm just like, okay. They have me change into a new hospital gown. I have to wipe myself down with the antibacterial or whatever wipes again. While I'm changing, they switch out all my bedding and everything. I like get in bed and they start rolling me down to surgery and I'm just like, okay. They like put wrappers around my legs that would inflate to like stop blood clots because it turns out when you have surgery, it makes you like, it makes it likely to have blood clots. And I know blood clots are bad because someone in my family had a pulmonary embolism in the last couple of years. So yeah, they left those leg inflatey suckers on until I left the hospital, and I'm very grateful for that. On that note, I'm actually gonna walk around my room and then I'll finish filming. They have me down in like the little pre-surgery like get ready suite. They tape up like the piercings that I didn't know how to take out. I tried, could not figure it out for the life of me. Okay, it's titanium, so like it ended up being fine. They do like a blood sugar test. I meet the anesthesiologist and the surgeon and the surgical team. They were all amazing. They put a hairnet on me and it looked like I wasn't wearing anything because the hairnet was also blue. I think I signed an anesthesiology consent form, and then they wheel me into like the actual surgical bay and I have to switch beds, which was fine. The anesthesiologist goes, cool, morning cocktail or afternoon cocktail, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, like makes a joke, put something into my IV. And that's where everything gets real fuzzy. When I was a kid, I had ankle surgery and I can still kind of remember the like mask and the count backwards thing. Not this time. Nope, I was just out. The next thing I remember, I think, is they put my glasses like back on me in like the recovery area. And I kind of remember them asking me like, who else should we call to like let you know you're awake? And I say my husband, and they're like, we already called your husband, he's here with your parents. And I went, yay! They also gave me a popsicle, which is the first thing that I'd eaten in a very long time, and my mouth was so dry and it felt amazing. So they wheeled me back up to my room, and James, my parents, were there, and I was actually able to like eat food. They let me order from like the hospital kitchen, I guess. I had some soup and some congee. I tried peaches and that hurt. I won't be trying peaches again for a while, but it felt like the gallbladder pain. Oh yeah, it was really bad. I was like moaning again. I was like, oh my God. And the doctor's like, cool, I'm gonna get you approved for morphine. I was like, wait, what? No, I don't want to take morphine again. I'm afraid I'm gonna get addicted to morphine. Morphine's too good. But then eventually the pain was getting so bad, and this is very quickly actually, but the pain was getting so bad, I was like, okay, fine, morphine. And she like left to get the morphine, and then the pain like subsided. She comes like the morphine. I'm like, wait, don't give it to me. It's fine, it's going down. Because I really don't want morphine. She had to throw it out and I feel bad. It's a waste of good morphine. But yeah, my gallbladder was out. Apparently there are some titanium clips in there now instead. I have 4 incisions. They're kind of itchy. I really need to shower. As far as I know, it all went really well, except the surgery took longer than it was supposed to because they found a giant gallstone, or at least, you know, a large gallstone, whatever. They found a gallstone in there that didn't show up on the CT scan or the ultrasound, which is just kind of wild when you think about it. Like that's probably what caused this like level 9 pain for me on Sunday, was this huge gallstone that like couldn't be seen. But yeah, that's what happened. I don't have a gallbladder anymore. I feel fine. I'm eating pretty normally, mostly just like bread and like, you know, chicken breast, that sort of thing right now. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, which is like nice. I'm not in a lot of pain. It hurts less than my gum surgery, honestly. Like they have me on less painkillers. I'm over the counter Tylenol and Advil unless I need any of the prescription stuff, which they did give me, but I haven't been taking it because I haven't needed it. This is the first day that my brain has been working enough to like film this video. I know it's not going to be the best video because I'm also going to be like editing it with this brain, so it's not going to be the best. I want to remember this, and I know from James's whole cancer experience, like I know it's hard to keep track of what happened. Already my memories like aren't really there anymore, and that's fine. Like that's almost a good thing in some cases. It was all really scary, and it's kind of wild looking back because it's been 5 years of this, you know, really intermittent at first and then increasing in frequency. And that's pretty scary to think about it. And I wonder like what would have happened if I hadn't gone to my doctor, if I'd just sort of been like, oh, well, it's done on Sunday. But I'm really lucky because I had a really great like friend community and family like support system surrounding me. Like I'm so grateful my parents were able to drop everything and come up. I had friends who like stopped at our house to pick up some stuff for us for the hospital stay. The medical staff was just absolutely incredible. Just everyone was really, really great there. So yeah, I got really lucky, and I'm very privileged in a lot of this, that I have such good medical care, that I have medical insurance in the United States that is covered so well, although I haven't gotten the hospital bill yet, so I don't actually know how much I have to pay yet. But the fact that I wasn't like blocked is really good. I don't know what the future's going to hold. I am honestly kind of worried about whether or not I'm going to have the energy, brain power, physical ability to film a lot of the videos that I had planned, or some of the videos that I had planned for this year, which is disappointing because I was really close to 1,000 subscribers and I really hoped that like it was really gonna pick up next year. But that is okay. That is okay because my health needs to come first. And I'm telling myself that. If you are dealing with gallbladder stuff, I hope this video can be a little bit comforting. I am not in that much pain. I'm able to like handle the stairs in my house fine. And I've heard through the grapevine, like friends of friends who've had their gallbladders removed, that like it can be life-changing. So I'm looking forward to seeing if this changes my life. I don't know what else to say. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate this support. I think that's it for this story, this very long story. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. I'm gonna go get some rest, and I hope to see you real soon. Cheers.